the Baltimore Ravens have been pretty busy in free agency, and by busy, I mean they've been selling a lot of their players while also making some additions as well. And in this video, I really just want to go over what they've done and what outcomes they could potentially be in for the upcoming season. What's up, guys? Welcome back to So Back Sports, and I'm so back with another video. And I want to talk about more in depth about what chances the Baltimore Ravens have in making another push like they did this past season. I know that they didn't make it to the Super Bowl this season. They made it to the AFC Championship game. However, I just want to go over if this team is ready, or is this team like ready to be a contender going into next year. As you can see, I'm on their website with the free agency tracker for the 2024 free agency. And as of the signings, they've signed Derrick Henry, which is one of their most notable signings. They've added some O-line depth, which Chris Board and Josh Jones, and a cornerback, Holman. But they've also made some re-signings as well. With Madubuike was a pretty big re-signing from their perspective because they've been pretty good with the defensive side. And, he's been a cornerstone piece for them. Malik Harrison, Brent Urban, Johnson, Washington, Mullet, adding to their defense. Only pretty much besides Josh Johnson, it's been only defense that they've been re-signing, which is pretty much goes to their whole philosophy in terms of being a defensive-minded system. Now that McDonald has no longer a defensive coordinator, they kind of still have to bolster up their defense into the upcoming season. Are they the same defense in a sense where we'll see going forward? But as of right now, they've been focusing on re-signing some defensive pieces. Currently, some free agents that they have are Dalvin Cook, J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins earlier in the off season has been linked with teams, and there's nothing going on right now in terms of if he's going to sign or not. But that's because of his injury history, unfortunately. Mustafa is a free agent. He's O-line as well. DB. Cornerback. So some small pieces Van Noy, I think, is probably their biggest free agent piece. But out of all these people, I think they're probably gonna see what happens. I feel like the most likely scenario is that J.K. Dobbins will probably be a third string somewhere. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, this is not too notable. But Mustafa is a former Bear, but no one's saying anything. Anyways, now the main part I really want to go over is all the pieces that they had that teams have taken from the Ravens. And they have taken a lot of pieces, to be honest with you. Gus Edwards is a Charger, who was a big cornerstone piece to their running back. Obviously, they've added Derrick Henry to replace Gus Edwards, but, that depth in the running back room is going to be important. But they do have Keaton Mitchell, so I feel like they're fine in that sense. Jadeveon Clowney has been kind of all right for them. Who else? Patrick Queen is a big loss to them, I will say. Because the interior linebacker room, while they still have a decent linebacker room, Patrick Queen was huge for them. And the fact that he's going to a division rival in the Pittsburgh Steelers is a big blow, to be honest. And then just some safety, O-line pieces, Tyler Huntley, Devin Duvernay. I feel like they've taken a lot of pieces, especially from the Ravens, but overall, and then other transactions, they've released Odell Beckham Jr., so they're probably in the realm of looking for a wide receiver and maybe a tackle and offensive linebacker. Anyways, so that's their free agency moves. And if you want to look at their depth chart right now, you see that they have a lot of pieces that they need to address. And I think that they're probably going to address this in the draft, especially when it comes to wide receivers, fullback, center, because Linderbaum is their only center right now, and they probably need more depth for that. Right guard, right tackle. Their O-line needs a little bit more work, I think. And, that's just how it is. And, their running back room is fine. Zay Flowers is their cornerstone piece. I think they're probably going to look into another wide receiver to kind of bolster up that offense. And then in terms of their defense, they have some pieces that they need, single safety, full safety, strong safety. Excuse me. They have to add some depth for that. And inside linebacker, they would have to do that as well. So they have some pieces to address. Nothing crazy. So how will they address it? Really, they have a bunch of picks this season, and they are probably going to address mainly offensive line, wide receiver, and cornerback. And obviously this isn't the same team, and they have lost a lot of their defensive minded people. Where it's like, for example, Mike McDonald is a big reason why that scheming of the defense kept the Ravens in the game in the AFC Championship game, because of how well he was able to contain Mahomes and that Chiefs offense. Did they do enough to push them forward to be Super Bowl contenders? Probably not. But at the end of the day, you have to draft really well. And I think going forward, given that you have Lamar on a long-term contract, you added Derrick Henry to be an option for the rushing attack. Overall, you have to really look into this draft and kind of build talent through that. And once they kind of get a sense of what this team is going to be going forward, I think that the Ravens are kind of in a weird scenario where it's okay, they're contenders, but can they match what they did this past season? Because I felt like that was the season that they could have gone all the way, because they were really, really good, especially with that defense of theirs. So who knows what they're going to be, because their defense isn't as strong as based on what it sounds like. It's not as strong as it was this past offseason, especially with the loss of Patrick Queen. But it does help with signing Madubuike, still having Roquan Smith on his contract, and overall, I think once you have to just look into adding more depth, maybe signing some people in free agency or in the waivers or whatnot. And yeah, I think they're still good. They're going to be a top team in the AFC, but I think they should be a little bit concerned because of how this whole situation has been playing out. They have to address their staff as well. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think the Ravens are still going to be Super Bowl contenders going forward? Do you think that their Super Bowl window is about to close? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to read what you guys have to say. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.